Hello there, people. All right, it started. If you wanna save it to the other things, like the stuff.
Share it to the group.
No, to the page. How do I? All right, so why can't I see? Oh, okay, 4 people. All right, I got it. Okay, we're gonna do this. My brain is jello from WordPress and trying to get the site ready. Hi, jello. So real quick, not real quick. It's not going to be real quick. There's a lot to talk about. All right, so registration starts tomorrow at noon Eastern time. So 9 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. And we are not going to be using GrowTix this year for reasons. I think it's good. It's just not exactly what we need. What exactly we need doesn't exist. So we're just cobbling things together and going to do the best we can. We are going to be doing the initial registration on our own website. So you'll just go to our website. You're going to add to cart your registration badge and any additional swag you might want. I finally, and it's not live yet, but I finally added in all of the, it's not all of the cabin t-shirts because there was a thing with Amazon and now they're not taking any new submissions for a while. But anyway, a lot of the cabin t-shirts are individually in there as items. You won't be able to check out with them at the same time because they go through Amazon Prime, but they're there finally. But all the other stuff like that we have, our t-shirts and water bottles and hats and stuff. Shoot, I haven't added the hats and stuff. Okay, so I'll put it on the to-do list for today. Those will be there. When you checkout is going to be through. I'm gonna do questions and stuff in a little bit. But so checkout is going to be through PayPal. You can check out with a regular credit card if you don't want to sign in to PayPal. So you can, either way is fine. The email address that's associated with your PayPal account is going to automatically be imported and whitelisted for class signups. But any additional campers, and this is one of the really big things we ran into last year, if you buy a ticket or if you register an additional camper, we don't have their email address, which is a huge problem. So once you have completed checkout, it's going to redirect you back to a page where you're going to need to fill in any additional campers' email addresses and their names, so that we have them. And it needs to be theirs. Don't just be like, oh, I'll just put mine in and then I'll tell her later about, we need their email addresses. We need everyone's email address so that we can put you into, I think we're going to use Sketch this year for our scheduling. So we'll do that. You will also be emailed a link that will take you to that URL so that if you lose it or it doesn't redirect or whatever, you'll be able to get back there and opt them into our whitelist. Okay, those are the biggest things I wanted to get out. We need the LARP girl. We do need the LARP girl, but she will be at something in Canada then. We had a really great conversation and I like her, but she's just not available. It's really sad, but it is what it is. Time travel. Oh, can you share the time travel stuff? Yeah. So that's. Oh, and my. No, wait. Nope. Still wrong. There, I got a helmet too. Some changes to our program. We have exciting changes. We have some not exciting changes, but we have exciting changes too. Check-in is going to be at 11 a.m. instead of 3. So you're going to get a lot more time to sort of get, people were waiting in the parking lot this last year, whatever. But there was nothing we could do about it because there were literally children still leaving. This year, next year, I just need it to be 2018. Stay with me. They're going to be gone. They're going to be gone for days. So things should be cleaned. They should be, out days ago. And then volunteers, and we'll get to you in a little bit, are going to actually be arriving the day before. So we will be so ready to go at 11 a.m. We're going to be on it. We're totally on it. Get this weird window up that's blinking at me. Okay. We are going to do, I'm just going over some of the feedback from the surveys that we got, so that, same instructors for, so we're taking over the art department, totally. None of the art instructors are going to be there. They're going to all be our people. Seth will be there. And Angie is heading up that department, and she's been working with Harvey on pricing stuff out, and we're going to have some really exciting classes this year, which you guys, I have pretty high craft standards too, because I like making stuff. Obviously, this is my workshop. I don't know if you get obviously making stuff, but there's stuff around. Look, I'm working on stuff. It's a thing. I'm doing it. So that's not going to stay on without, nope. It's just not going to. Anyway, art is going to be really awesome this year. We're going to do things like wizard staffs and just higher quality and difficulty designs, things that are meant for adults. The camp crafts are great for kids, and there was actually, like the stained glass is really cool, and like metal stamping, and then Angie made leatherworking work. Enameling was kind of touch or go, but anyway, it was neat to get to play with all that stuff. This year, since we're going to step it up, it won't be all inclusive anymore because those materials take money to buy, and it'll still be a really great value. You'll end up with, we're even going to do like inkle looms, so you can build a loom for weaving and then learn to weave on it. Like, that's the kind of level stuff that we're going to be doing. And obviously buying a loom would be very expensive, but even at, and I don't know what we have that priced at, but you're going to be like, wow, that's really good. Is that right? No, it's really awesome. So you'll be able to weave small things. I'm a favorite unicorn. Yay. Cool. The camp will be providing the food again. We are going to try to coordinate with them a bit more ahead of time so the expectations are a little bit more, on the level where we need them to be. We'll see what we can do. We're also trying to add in a vegan option. I'm not really sure that that's going to work, but we're going to try. And then eventually we will take over the kitchen as well. And, as we're moving forward and our business is growing, we'll be able to take over more of, have more control over our program. And the only reason that we can do what we do is because we rely so heavily on the infrastructure of the camp itself. But, as the years go by, we can do more of it and ask less of them. We're going to do more group activities, more icebreakery stuff, more things with your cabins, just more camp-wide events. The things like Quidditch aren't just going to be, available all the time. We're going to pick, I think what we're really going to do is we're going to have it after our 5 activity periods of the day. We'll have house teams, and so like Slytherin will play Ravenclaw, and then Gryffindor will play Hufflepuff, and then the last night or whatever, the 2 teams will have a tournament, house cup type thing, and then the brooms will be available for pickup games and whatever after hours. But we seemed to have problems with people, getting enough people to play a game. So we are working to get printed programs for this year that will be nice and glossy and have maps. And the program, we are looking at sponsors for advertising in them to pay for them so that they can be really nice. So that's something we're working on right now. We're also going to have badges with your names on them. I've been wanting to do it from the start. Somebody thinks that having lanyards is, it's asking for strangling. But, if you're going on the zip line or something, take it off. Just take it off. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, Bentley. It's going to be fine. So I called you out. I did. I've wanted to have badges from the start. Who doesn't want a badge? I want a badge and a lanyard, and I want them to be pretty, and probably still wristbands and maybe stickers. I don't know. Anyway, the Wi-Fi situation is still going to be what it is. We're disconnected up there, but I think that people mostly didn't know that there is a computer lab that's open, I think, all the time, or at least all day, and it has internet. It's up by the office. Like if you go up the stairs to the office, there's a door down to the right, kind of near where registration check-in happened. So that's there, and you can go and use that as much as you need. We are going to set up a quiet room somewhere, probably the infirmary, for people who are having a moment and just need to go collect themselves. If you're having some anxiety and you just need to go sit down, we will have a quiet room for that. The cabins, all right. Part of me doesn't want to promise, like, okay, this is a quiet cabin and this is, or this is a morning and that is an evening, because people are people and you never know what you're going to get. And especially people who come together, like some of them want quiet cabins, some of them want, like night cabins, day cabins, whatever, morning cabins. We're going to do the best we can. We will designate them morning, early risers, and night owls. Night owls does not mean loud. It just means that you go to bed later. So I want to make that really clear from the get-go. That's how that works. And we'll make it the whole cabin, not half the cabin, so that the other side is waking you up. If you are watching this now, chances are that you are a returning camper, and we are going to fit as many of you into the nice cabins as we can. So that may not be an issue that you end up with anyway. They have not updated any over this winter, so we'll just have to see how that ends up working out. But we're going to do what we can. Yeah, the breakaway lanyards for safety is we'll look into it. Once again, I'm hoping that we can get them supplied by somewhere, like Dark Horse Comics or what. I mean, I know they supplied Rose City Comic Con with theirs, so we'll see if we can get some that are sponsored. Because when you buy like 1 million of them, they're like pennies, but when you buy just like 400, they're pretty expensive. Beds. The beds are really not that comfortable. The beds are camp beds that are meant for children. So if you want to bring an air mattress, do it. And we will move a bed out, and you can have your air mattress in there. An air mattress maybe with a little personal tent, Shuri. I don't know. You do what you want to do. But so registration, since we're only doing one session, is going to be the 400. So it's half the amount. Sorry, 350. Because we have more volunteers. Bentley's saying 350. So we'll see. We'll see what we have room for. But it's somewhere around 350 to 400, just depending on how many volunteers we end up taking on. Which is, half the what we had available last year. But I think it'll be fine. But you can bring an air mattress. The price for registration is the same regardless of where you're sleeping. The facility maybe didn't understand that they agreed to a lower price. So they were like, why are these people only paying? And I'm like, I don't know, you said it was fine. And they're like, not anymore. So the impact to the facility is the same regardless of where you sleep. You're still showering and using those cabins. It's not like they can winterize them. You're just sleeping somewhere else but still using it. So the price will be the same for registration across the board. It's going to be $4.99 early bird pre-registration, and that's going to last until April 7th, I think, and then it's going to go to $5.99. The reality of the situation is that we're a very value-priced thing, and if we want to keep having this, it's going to have to stand on its own without losing money. So the venues are expensive, TLDR. More group activities. Oh, we're going to have a bigger space for board games. There's nothing we can do about the sound in the cafeteria. It's like an echo dome in there. I don't know what we can do. Bring pillows. I don't know. No, don't do that. Maybe. Classes are changing. Majors and minors. We're going to do majors and minors because art classes specifically, mostly, the art classes were not timed well. Everybody got, an hour and 15 minutes to do anything, and stained glass takes longer than that, and Seth is going to be sewing, and it's probably going to take longer than that. And so we're going to do a thing, majors and minors. We don't have it completely worked out yet, but basically the gist is some classes are going to span the 3 days, and you are going to, either be working on a project that just takes that long, or like Josh will be doing a 3-day lightsaber choreography thing. So at the end of that, you and your partner, because you'll be going with the same group of people to the same class every day, you and your partner will have a pretty kick-ass thing worked out, and we're going to make you do it in front of everybody. No, we won't. We won't. If you want to, you can. I would like it if you did. Let's see what else. Quiet rooms will be available for RPGs. I'm getting the note here. There's a memo. Around how many people actually attended last year total in both sessions? I think it was like 250-ish? 280? Oh, was it? Not including volunteers? Around that. So it's conceivable, if everyone who has attended before attends, that we could sell out. If I were a transformer, I would be optimist prime, because I always think we're going to sell out. So don't ask me. I'd be like, yeah, man, we're going to do a Kickstarter. We're going to sell out in one day. Everyone's going to be like, oh my God, nerd camp, let's go. And then like crickets and tumbleweeds, and canceled that Kickstarter, and then just said screw it and did it on my own website. But please don't ask me if you think that we're going to sell out. Like, if I know, I have no idea. And I'll always say like, yeah, definitely. But probably not right away, at least maybe by April. I don't know. I can't see the future. Cannot prognosticate that. Oh, let's see. Do we have any questions? I feel like there's more stuff, and I wanted to prepare more for this, but I was working on the website and I ran out of time, and I didn't wash my hair, so I'm wearing a hoodie. Now you know. Questions? Anyone? I know there's stuff. So website and, volunteers. The volunteer program is going to change a lot this year. Namely because the venue is insisting that we pay the same amount for our volunteers as we do for campers. Which means that if you are coming in to be an instructor for a class or two a day, that we will end up needing you to cover the cost of your room and board, which is pretty standard for volunteering at a convention or whatnot. And then you'll have time to go play and stuff. This excludes some volunteers who are going to be working all day and all night and all throughout the year. They will not be paying. But part-time volunteers are going to have to cover their room and board. It's just the way of it, unfortunately. Someday we'll have our own property and with blackjack and hookers. No, it'll be amazing though. Horseback riding. That's what I needed to talk about. That horseback riding is not happening this year because it just didn't work out so great. The horses are just not meant really for grown-ups, and it makes me really sad because I love riding, and like one of the reasons we're even at this facility is because they have horses. But so we leased 24 horses, and by the time we got there, only 12 of them were rideable because they had been used by children all summer. And yeah, I don't know how to get around that. And the program where they have, available to ride is not ideal, and none of it is ideal. And I think the idea of horses was a lot better than the actuality of horses, except for the mounted games by Alyssa and Jen and Amber and sometimes Andoni. And those were amazing and lots of fun, except for the horses who were like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And that was sad for me. So does that mean that nothing for volunteers is reimbursed? So first year volunteers, the way we do it is that you purchase a badge and then you'll be refunded the, there's something on my screen, the amount that excludes your room and board, which I believe is $2.99. We'll have to double check on that, but I believe that's the venue cost to us. So there's that, and and that happens after camp, to protect ourselves from just charging the $2.99, have people get a cheap ticket, and then just like not show up to teach your class, which has maybe happened, which is why we have this rule now. Okay. If we're hoping to be volunteers, should we go ahead and purchase our ticket just in case? So, for the volunteers who are first-year volunteers, if Angie has spoken to you and you have specific plans to do that, or you're a returning volunteer that we have spoken to, please hold off on buying your ticket, because with PayPal, there's that window that's like 180 days, 90 days, something like that, where it's totally refundable and we won't get hit with the fees. So if we can do it within that time period, it just makes it easier for everybody. So if you know for sure that you are volunteering for us, hold off on purchasing your ticket. And if you do purchase your registration, I'm trying to call it registration, not a ticket. If you do purchase your badge, then we may end up just refunding your, like right now or as soon as you're accepted into the volunteer program, and have you redo it later on, just to make that easy for everybody, because reimbursing this past year was sometimes a nightmare because we had that separate merchant services, which we don't anymore. So PayPal makes it easy. Okay, and everybody will need to apply to be a volunteer. Even if you're a returning volunteer, we still need you in the system because last year was on Grow Ticks. We're going to need it every year just as a formal declaration of intent that you do want to come back and volunteer. And although if you're a returning volunteer, you get to skip some of the questions on like, why do you want to volunteer? Stuff like that. And I'll need to know your Hogwarts house so that, you know, we know what we're dealing with here. Man, that permanent marker, man. Oh, and volunteers get to come early. You get to come a day early. That's included in your $2.99. I'm pretty sure it's going to be $2.99. You get to come a day early and you get a T-shirt. So there's that. Is volunteer registration up and running? No, it is not. It is almost. So close. So close. But like having the applications up. We're gonna put those up. It's gonna be really soon. We've been going back and forth with how we wanted to do it, and if we wanted to do sort of a sliding scale of hours versus, you know, how much you're reimbursed. And that was way too complicated to try to do. So I think that it's going to be at, and this could change, but right now what we're thinking is that it'll be $2.99. You come a day early, you get a T-shirt, and we will ask you to do up to 3 activity periods a day. Looking at things. Oh, and there was a question about shuttles. So the shuttle was also a nightmare. Oh my goodness. You don't even know unless you were on it, then maybe you know. But from our end, it was really awful too. The insurance was terrible. Just the organizing, it was terrible. Like everything was terrible. I don't even want to do it. I really don't. And, but we're gonna. But this time, we're just renting a charter bus. We're hiring someone else to go do it. Some professional company is going to go. But this does mean that it's just going the one time, and it's just going to one place, probably. So it'll be either Newark or the New York area at like 9 a.m., and it's a one-time thing. Just one-shot deal. You buy a round-trip ticket so we don't end up with weird numbers coming and going. And I believe it'll be something like $75 for round-trip. Yeah, I think that's what it is, but don't quote me on it because we haven't actually booked it yet. And I wrote down numbers somewhere. But we will be offering it as an option tomorrow that I just remembered that we have to add to the website for an option. So much to do today. Woo! So does that mean for people that want to volunteer for one thing, like me, if we volunteer, we have to do 3 periods a day? No, it means that we will ask you to do up to 3 periods a day. It's we will have extra shifts in the game room. Shuri, you're in a different situation because you do other things for us like drying. So you're a special flower case thing. What will we need volunteers for? Oh, wait. What's going on with LARP this year? What's going on with LARP this year? Caleb is doing our LARP again, and he and our team of LARPy volunteer people are going to be making a new storyline for the Incaros LARP. I had not planned on having the Supernatural LARP go again, but if there's enough interest and Eric wants to do it, we'll see. No promises. I had this like great plan for it, and none of it was possible. And it ended up being, for the first session anyway, it ended up really not going the way I wanted. And some people who are not me saved it and rescued it for the second session. Eric being one of them. Okay, so how many people will the shuttle hold? It's going to be like a 55-person bus. It's going to be a big old like coach bus thing that will hold 55 people and your bags and stuff underneath. I mean, it's going to be big. That's what she said. What do you need volunteers for? We're assessing our needs. I really want somebody who can do foam cosplay stuff to the point where it's like, I mean, I'm not super great at it, but I will teach it if I have to. It just won't be fantastic. This is not painted yet. But anyway, right now, so I don't know what we need volunteers for specifically at this juncture, other than I think there are some very specific art class needs that you'd need to ask Angie about. Game room also needs some volunteers, especially in the evening. We'll go over how evening works versus periods in the day at a later date. But yeah. Oh. And other stuff as well. We're trying to have sort of like more volunteers doing less than having volunteers that just work all day and all night, which is what we've been doing. And everyone's a little tired. I love our volunteers. They're so amazing. So I'm sure that there will be people who, do one activity period and teach that, and there will be people who sign up for all three to teach or volunteer and then just end up volunteering a lot of the rest of the time. But that is, unless we work out something really specific, if you want to throw your time at us, that's amazing. However, we are not in a position to afford everyone's room and board, unfortunately. This is not something we can do. We live in a garage now. Anyway, woodworking. Talk to Angie and Harvey about that. I know Harvey is doing woodworking, but I mean, who knows what they could need.
Willow's one of Angie's.
Oh, Willow's one of Angie's people already. Never mind. Oh yeah, that's right. She said that. Sorry. Yes. You do foam work in your makerspace? Oh, we're going to talk. Willow, we're going to talk. That's my dog's name. She's the best. Sarah will volunteer her amazing acting skills as per usual. And she'll throw things at you and ropes around you. And Sarah's got some crazy ideas for wizard dueling this year. They're ridiculous and hilarious, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. We'll be having mermaids again, where I'm sure she'll be. And, the other thing we're not going to do, most likely, is magic, and that is really just a space issue, that we're using that room for the escape room, and there was a lot more interest in the escape room than there was in the Magic. So in order to, accommodate people for the escape room, which if you think you know all of its secrets, trust me, you don't. We'll have a mostly different escape room, just depending on what other spaces we're able to utilize in that building. Any other questions? I feel like we went over a lot of stuff. Anything else? There's going to be more. I just know it. I can feel it. I'm going to be like, oh, man, and I didn't tell them about the thing. What is the thing? Let's see, we went over cabins. We went over, I think that we are actually going to try to get the big archery tag set. We are going to have to crowdfund that because it's thousands of dollars. Thousands. So we will have that available, hopefully, and we'll set up a crowdfund thing for that in a few months. The thing that I want to stress the most, really, in this whole thing is that if you sign up, if you register someone other than yourself, you need to give us their email address. We need it. We just need it. We need to be able to contact them. We need to have their information in a file somewhere. And so if you sign up, you and a friend, please, 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 for the love of dog, go to the opt-in site and put their name on the whitelist so that they can register for classes, so that they don't email me going, why can't I register for classes? And I'll be like, who are you? I have no record of you anywhere, ever, which happened a lot, which is one of the reasons we're not using Grotix, is they just did not have anywhere to do that on their thing. So I made my own thing with blackjack and hookers. Nope, not with those last two things. Just my own thing. Like I do. It's a little bit, are we in MailChimp now? You are. It's fine. Just do it so that you'll be whitelisted for Sketch later, which is going to be, I hope, amazing for choosing classes and managing your classes. And you get like a little profile, and unless we completely change our minds, I think did we already buy Sketch? We're in it. We bought that. Registration also, we maybe didn't price out our badges thinking about the transaction fee, which is like, 3% plus 30 cents or something like that. So yeah, that'll be there because we just can't afford to pay for that, really. Although we're not putting on an extra fee for Sketch, we're just going to eat that cost. But it's got to come from somewhere. Okay, so registration is tomorrow. Don't panic. I'm mostly talking to me at this point. Don't panic. I'm going to go add stuff to the website so that it'll be there. So all the things that I said that will be there will actually be there. And I will catch some of you guys. Willow, I'll probably PM you after this so we can talk about foam. I like foam. Look, I made a helmet. Nope, it's over there. Yeah. Oh, it's really hard when the camera's backwards. Anyway, okay. I love you. Bye.